Ever wish you could predict the future? Well, today we're going to learn how, at least when it comes to English grammar. We are about to unlock two seriously powerful tenses that will let you talk about what's coming up with absolute precision. Let's dive in.
Okay, let's kick things off with a little challenge. How would you fill in this blank right here? Now, saying you will learn is, it's fine, it's correct, but it's also a little vague. It doesn't quite guarantee that the learning will actually be finished. To really capture that sense of completion, we need a better tool, and that's exactly what we're here for.
So our first forecasting tool lets us peer into the future and see a task is already done, a finished action, a goal that's been checked off the list.
This is the future perfect tense. And its entire job, its superpower really, is to focus on the completion of an action. You're not just saying something is gonna happen, you're saying it will be done by a certain time or before something else happens in the future.
And how do you build this thing? Well, the formula is beautifully simple. Just will plus have plus the past participle of the verb. So let's solve that puzzle from the beginning. The most precise answer is, by the time this ends, you will have learned a new skill. See that? Have learned signals the job is done. Mission accomplished.
Let's see it in a real-world example. Here, our future point is by 2030. We're basically time traveling to that date and saying that the act of discovering is already complete. The discovery is in the history books, even though it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, this is a great example of how this tense can sequence future events. Her leaving is a completed action that happens before another future event, your arrival. It just creates this perfect, crystal clear timeline of what's going to happen first.
Okay, so that's perfect for finished actions. But what if we want to talk about the process? The journey, the duration of an action leading up to a moment in the future. For that, we need our second amazing tool.
And here it is, meet the future perfect continuous. Look, if the future perfect is all about the finish line, this tense is all about the marathon itself. It emphasizes how long something has been going on when you get to that point in the future. Here, the journey is the real star of the show, not the destination.
The formula is a little bit longer, but it's just as logical. We just add been and the ing form of the verb. We'll have been doing. We'll have been working. That little ing is our big clue that we're talking about something continuous, something that's ongoing.
Let's look at this one. The focus isn't that the teaching stops next summer. Not at all. The focus is on the incredible duration, that 15-year milestone that will be reached at that future point. It's all about emphasizing that long, dedicated journey of teaching.
This shows another powerful use, explaining a future situation. So why will she be tired? Because she will have been working all night. This tense perfectly connects a future effect, being tired, to its ongoing cause, all that work. It's so useful.
All right, time for the main event, the head-to-head comparison. This is where it all just clicks into place. Let's put completion versus duration on the stage and really see how they're different.
This table just breaks it down perfectly. On the left, you've got future perfect, all about completion. I will have written the report. The result, a finished report. On the right, future perfect continuous is all about duration. I will have been writing the report for 2 weeks. Here, the focus is on the effort, the time you've put in.
So the crucial point is right here. Will have written means the report is done. You can print it, email it, hand it in. It's a finished product. Will have been writing tells us about the process, the time, the journey that got you to that moment on Friday. One is the destination, the other is the journey.
Okay, so that's the theory. But these tenses aren't just for grammar quizzes. No way. They are incredibly useful out in the real world. Let's look at a few practical examples.
So, in an academic setting, for example, the first point uses future perfect. Students will have submitted all their assignments. That's a finished action. Deadline met, done. The second one uses future perfect continuous. They will have been preparing for several weeks. That highlights the long grind, the duration of study before the exams even start.
The exact same logic applies at work. She will have published 5 papers. Those are 5 separate completed achievements. Check, check, check. But he will have been conducting experiments for 10 months. That describes the long, ongoing process behind any potential breakthroughs.
And this is fantastic for talking about our own lives. You can talk about your bucket list goals as completed accomplishments. I will have traveled to 20 countries. Or you can highlight your dedication to a long-term hobby. I will have been learning Spanish for 5 years. See the difference?
So now you have the tools and you've seen them in action. The only thing left to do is to try them out yourself and start forecasting your own future with a little more style.
So if there's one thing to remember from all this, it's this right here. For a finished result, use the future perfect. To talk about the journey it took to get there, use the future perfect continuous. It really is that simple, result versus journey.
And I'll leave you with a final question to chew on, one that you can now answer with total precision. Think about your life, your career, your passions. What will you have been doing for years and years by the time you retire? It's a really powerful way to think about your life's journey. Thanks for joining me.